Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, what was the last discussion?
Interceptor.
Interceptor. Okay, fine. I want to understand something. How comfortable you are with API calls now?
Sanjay, I have a doubt. So my project now they are sending some session ID in the means I'm able to achieve the Axios one. Like I have declared in Axios.client the base URL and then I'm sending the APIs inside client.post. Okay. Now with that I have a session ID. Okay. That I'm trying to do it in interceptor like how the API means how the request looks like na base URL, then that slash the API name, and after that semicolon, and then the session ID equal to something. I will be able to means get the response after that only. Okay, so I am like means confused. Like with authorization, I have sent that is going to authorization. That is not going as that single line like that. They have constructed the API
No,
like
in
that.
the URL only you have to add. In authorization, you cannot add.
You
In
cannot
the
add.
URL, you have to add. No, in URL, you have to add.
Okay, so that means I will.
Request.url plus something.
Okay.
Request.url will be a string.
Hmm.
So whenever you are hitting one API, whenever you are hitting one API, if you check localhost 3000, yeah. So now the API call will be triggered. The API call will be triggered here. This is our request. Request.url plus something you have to add.
Yes, yes. Semicolon that session ID equal to something. That will be
So
automatic.
your interceptor should look like this. So your interceptor should look like this. Request, then I'm commenting request equal to request plus some
Some
ID
session. Okay.
return request. Yeah,
Okay, okay, okay. I got it.
these two lines you have to add. Sorry, request dot URL. Request equal to request dot URL is equal to request dot URL plus some ID, because request is one
Return the
object.
request or return the request dot
No,
URL.
no, return the request.
Okay.
You are manipulating the URL, you are returning the whole request object.
Okay. And one more thing, I am having one more issue. I am getting
Hmm.
403.
Why?
I don't know. Means I have done all, backend it is Java. So sorry. Anyone want to say something? No. Okay. So I'm getting 404, but the cross dependent cross origin header I have passed it as star only from the backend. So still I'm getting that. So do I need to pass something? The difference when I saw, I could see in the header we are passing JSON star also the text, but when means I'm not using Axios. When we are using just the fetch call at that time it's only star. So I don't think so that is going to make any difference, right? So is there anything? I'm able to do the same thing with the URL you have provided. For that it is working absolutely fine. But when I'm doing it with my office one, it is having some issue. 403.
Yeah, you need to understand what is your Office API is expecting, what you are passing, what is missing. That we need to find out.
But okay, okay, I will check that. I have checked it at the API also.
Mhm.
They are done. Means we cannot do much changes. Just the JSON data sending and payload sending and getting the JSON back. For that, I have done in web.xml all the cross dependency, everything I have done. Normally for fetch it is working, but whenever I'm moving it to Axios, it's not working. So that's the thing. Maybe in Axios I'm not giving something maybe like that.
Yeah, looks like, huh? Could be. Okay, my screen is visible.
Yes. Yes, Sanjay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I have a question. My question is basically it is not a question. What I'm expecting is you create your own JSON server. Your own JSON server means you have we have our own database. In this database, we have employees.json. Using API, you have to read the data from this file. Again, you have to insert a employee to this file, delete employee, update employee. Can you do that using employee CRUD? Yeah, I know we have already done employee CRUD, but in employee CRUD, the data is coming from a static array. Instead of static array, you have to fetch the data from API. Instead of inserting the data into this array, we have to make a post call. Instead of updating the data from the array, we have to make a put call. Instead of deleting the data from array, we have to make delete call. Can you do that? Is it okay if I give you it as assignment or you want me to do that? What is the expectation?
We can try. You can give as an assignment and later you can explain if required.
Okay. Anyway, we have weekend to, I mean, Saturday and Sunday, you will get some time. Saturday we have React session. I'm saying the whole day you will have some time, right?
Yes.
Can you do it tomorrow or by Sunday? If you will not be able to do it, Monday I will help you. Is that fine?
Okay.
It works for me.
Yeah. So what is my expectation? Let me tell you again. The employee CRUD, whatever you have done, the data is coming from static array. The data is going to static array. There is no API interaction, right? Isn't it? There is no API interaction here. So we are able to, we can see, we are able to show the data in a table. We are able to add the data into the table. We are able to delete the data. All these things we are able to do with static array. Now I don't want static array. When I say fetch employees, it should fetch the data from database. When I say delete, it should delete from database. When I say add, it should add into the database. Will you be able to do that? And you have to do it. So when you get a chance to work with real-time projects, every project will use get method, post method, put method, patch method, delete method. So in our daily task, we will be using API calls. So don't skip this. Don't take it light. You have to do it. Huh? Okay. If that is fine, then I'll continue with a new topic.
Would you suggest an API link that we have to use?
There is no API. There is no API. You have to use JSON server because APIs will give you only get access. But when you use JSON server, they will allow get, post, put, patch, delete. So use JSON server. Read the data from a file. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah. Now the next topic that I'm going to start is routing. What is routing? Routing is mainly used to develop single page applications. What do you mean by single page applications? Single page applications are web applications that load a single HTML page and dynamically update the page as user interacts with the application. What does it mean? I'll show you one example. So when we open this W3 School, actually what happens? Initially it loads with home content. When we click on introduction dot ASP page loads. When we click on editors dot ASP page loads. So this this portion changes when I change the link, right?
Yes.
What do you think? This application is single page or not single page?
No, it's not. It's getting refreshed, right? Once you will click on the next page. See, HTML element.
Yeah, this page is not single page application. How can we say that? When we switch from basic to elements, you see the page is getting refreshed. You see here. And when we switch from elements to attributes, the page is getting reloaded. If you want to prove that, keep the networks tab, keep the elements tab open. Keep the elements tab open. If the body itself is getting reloaded, it means it is not single page application. When I jump from attribute to headings, what is getting refreshed? HTML, head, body, everything, right? Huh? When I click here, what is getting refreshed? HTML, head, body, everything, right? Do you notice?
Hmm.
And also, it is loading a new file. It is loading a new page altogether. So this is not a single page application. Now, if you open any React application, and you click on different links, you will see that the complete page reload will not happen. Let me open a website which is developed with React. Websites developed in React. Yeah. These are the websites which are developed with React. So let me open one of them. So it's a React website. Is it React? Okay. When I switch from one link to another link, the URL changes. And if the whole page is not getting reloaded, only a portion of the page is getting reloaded, we will call that page as single page application. I'm not sure whether this is React or not, whether they have implemented routing or not. I'm just saying, if a website is developed using React and we have used routing there, when we switch from one link to another link, the whole page reload will not happen. Only a portion of a page will be reloaded.
It looks like not React, right? Because body and head is also, I mean,
It's not React. It's not React.
can I open Netflix or some other website? Like, we would like to check.
So people say in YouTube videos, they say Netflix is developed in React, Facebook is developed in React. So it may not be true 100% because in Facebook, I know everything is not developed in React.
Some portion maybe. Netflix, FLX, UX.
IMDb React होना चाहिए.
Yeah. Okay. Where we have link here. Do we have links here? Okay, get started.
You know, register maybe.
We need to register. Okay.
Here you.
How to go to next page?
Okay, then you try with sign in only. No? Just sign in. No, it is going to see it's using route log.
No, we have to make sure it is developed in React. That is also a thing. Anyway, we will develop one application today. So we can verify there. So when we click on a link, oh, everything is getting refreshed. Again, we cannot set this.
Not the entire.
Yes, yes. Some portion is React, not the whole web page is React. So from YouTube videos or from some blog, we cannot believe and we cannot say this is React. We should know the background about that. Fine. But you got an idea, right? Yeah. So here, W3 School. Yeah, I know one website. Salon Home. So here, when I switch, when I click on a particular link, let me change the link. So this is one link. This is another link. When I click on home, only the URL changes and you see the body is not getting refreshed. When I change from home to for professionals, you see only the URL changes and body is not getting changed, right? And it's not a React project, it's an Angular project, but I can show you the routing part. Is it clear? Magazine, the URL changes, the whole page is getting not reloaded. Did you notice this? The whole page is not getting reloaded when you switch the links. Yeah. So this is called single page application. Now we will do the same thing in React. In single page application, what happens? Complete page reload doesn't happen. Only a portion of a page gets loaded. Routing in a single page application is the way to introduce some features for navigating the application through links. There will be different links. We'll click them and we will go to different components. Every time a link is clicked or browser URL changes, React router makes sure our application loads the component accordingly. The browser should change the URL when you navigate to a different screen. The browser back button and forward button should work as expected. Routing links together your application navigation with the navigation features offered by the browser. The address bar, the back button, forward button, everything will work fine. To achieve all these things, we have a package called React Router. React Router offers a way to write our code so that it will show certain components of your application only if the route matches what you define. So we can simply say routing is a technique where if I click on a particular link, that component will be loaded. And to achieve that, we have React Router library. In React, mainly we will find two types of routes. One is browser router, one is hash router. Browser router and hash router. Browser router, it builds the classic URLs. Hash router builds URLs with a hash symbol. This is one type of URL you will see. This is another type of URL you will see. So all the modern browsers, they supports these. If you are really using one old browser, IE less than 9 and all, we should use the second one, which is hash router. If you ask me which one is better, browser router is better and it is recommended to use browser router. Nowadays, everybody will use browser router. Nobody will use hash router. If you want to make it compatible with very old browsers, go with hash router. Next, which routes to use is mainly decided by the browsers you need to support. If your clients are using very old browser, go with hash router, or else the recommended one is browser router. If you don't have to worry about the older browsers, browser router is the recommended one to use. This is the latest one. The three components you will interact the most while working with React Router are, so whenever we have to develop a routing application, there are three main things. One is browser router, usually aliased as router, link, and route. Indirectly, I will say, whenever we develop a route application, we will see these components used. Browser router, link, route. These are the components we will be very frequently using. Any questions so far?
Sir, every applications is routing is there, right? Every pages, every website.
Every application will use routing.
Okay.
And so behind the scene, it is this React Router is using those JavaScript one only, right? Like windows.history.go, correct?
Maybe they are yeah, internally they are using that, but it makes the developers life easier, and they have developed such a wonderful framework. We don't have to even think about all those things.
But
It works out of the box.
today only they asked me. I had a React interview, so when I told about this route one, they asked me like in JavaScript if we are doing what we are going to use behind the scene what we are going to use. So I was like a little bit confused, and then I said it is something window dot something will be there. Then he said me back like window dot back window dot history dot go. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Let's understand what all steps we have to follow, what all steps we have to follow to make the routing work for us. See, this is our navbar. In the navbar, when I click on home, I want to load a component. When I click on about us, I want to load a component. When I click on carriers, I want to load a component. For all these things, we will have different links, and on click, that component should be loaded. What all steps we have to do? npm install react router DOM. This is very first thing. We have to install this library. Go to your project and
React router down.
go to your library, go to your project and install these. npm install react router DOM. Then once it is installed, create components. Create components like home, about us, contact us, not found, like this. Create 3-4 components. Every website will have these all components: home, about us, contact us, right? These are common links everywhere you will find. So let's go and create. I'll go to components. Inside components, I'll create folder home, home, and I'll say home.js. This is a component, or let's say this is home component. Then I'll create another folder about us. I'll create a file about us.js, and I'll say this is about us component. right? Then I'll add another source components. I'll add another one more last, home, about us. What else? Carriers. Carriers.js. This is carriers component. Okay. Then one last, that is not found. Not found.js. Not found, page not found. We can write any message, but yeah, fine. So we have created couple of components. We have not used them yet, but we have just created couple of components. Do you have any question from point number 1 and 2? No. Now, set up the application to work with React Router. What we have to do? Go to index.js, import browser router, import this line, and wrap your app component with browser router. We have to do this in index.js. So go to index.js. In index.js, import this, and browser router is a predefined tag. So use that like this. When we use it like this, yeah, this is how it looks like. In index.js, because index.js is the main file, so there I'm inputting browser router and I'm wrapping app component inside browser router, so that routing is supported to whole application. Fourth point, add the routes element and route to create the link between components. So what we will do, we will add the routes and route. And where we will do that? We can do it in app component. We can do it in app component, yeah, or even center component. In app component, we can do. So in app component, if you see, we are already loading navbar, center, footer. I will configure the routes. I'll configure the routes. So where I'll configure the routes? I'll configure the routes somewhere here. Somewhere here I'll configure the routes. I'm configuring the routes in app component. There will be errors. We have to import them. They are predefined things. Quick fix. Import them. So routes and route are predefined things. We have to import. We have to import them. So if you delete and type, auto suggestion will come. You import routes from React Router DOM and import route from React Router DOM. So these two things we have to import. After that, one routes will have a lot of route. So what are we doing here? We are saying route exact path. If my path is slash, element is home component, load home component. Did it import home component? Home. Where is home component? Home component. It's not showing me. Am I exporting? Yeah, it is exported, right? Export default function home. Why it is not showing here? Home. Now it is showing. So the first line is saying when somebody is hitting localhost 4200, when there is nothing in the path, when the path is empty, it should load home component. If somebody is adding a home after the URL, that time also it should load home component. In the URL, if you find about us, load about us component. About us component. I think I have to go to about us component once. I have to go to about us component once. Then I'll come here. Now the auto suggestion will come. About us. Then if somebody is clicking on this products link in the URL, if products is there, load product list. Product list. You can add n number of routes. If somebody is adding carriers, load carriers component. Carriers component. If somebody is typing carriers, load carriers component. This is the main thing which we have to understand. Please ask me questions if you have anything. So what are we doing here? We are configuring all the routes. Here we are saying if this URL comes, load this component. If that URL comes, load that component. Like that. So here what I'm doing, I'm configuring all the routes. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 route I have configured. I'm saying in the URL, this is the syntax route. It should be exactly like that. In the path, if you find a slash, let me show you also. If I hit localhost 3000, then it should go to home component. You see, it is going to home component. If I type localhost 3000 / home, it should load home component. You see, it is loading home component. If I type about us, it should load about us component. It is doing. If I type carriers, it should load carriers component. Is it doing? Yes, it is doing. If I type product list, it should load product list component. Is it doing that? Please say something.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
If I type ABC, which component will be loaded?
Oh,
ABC.
Do we have ABC component?
Not found.
not found.
Not found component. If I type XYZ, not found. If I type PQR,
Not found.
not found. So now the routes are configured and everything is working fine. But as a user, nobody will go and change the URL manually, right? Users can click links. The end users, they cannot go and type something in the URL. Though the route is working fine, this is not enough. Nobody will go and type here. On click of link, we should change the URL here. So that part is still left over. That we will do in point number 5. In point number 5, what we will do? Add a link for each component and use to equal to URL to link them. So we already have navbar component. We have to use link and to, link to, link to, link to. So let's do one thing. Let's go to our navbar component. Now we will go to navbar component. In navbar component, we have this. Let's delete it. Instead of deleting, we can change it to link. Instead of that, we can say link, link, then delete all these things. Home, link. Is it not imported? Is it not imported? We have to import. It is imported. So link, link, class name equal to navlink home. Then we have to write to, link to equal to. If I click, it should go to home. Then there is another link. Link about us. In URL, it should add about us. The left hand side one is very important. This is very important. This name and this name should match, otherwise it will not work. I can add couple of more. Home, about us. Contact us we have? No, right?
Career product.
Carriers, carriers, carriers. Products. What should be the route name? Product list. Now if I go and click on home, if I go and click on home, in the URL it will change it to home. Is it changing? When I click on about us, changes to about us. When I click on carriers, changing to carriers. When I click on products, changes to products. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? Any question?
Sir, if drop down is there, so how can we set it? Hello?
Yeah.
If drop down is there, how can we set, sir, inside the navbar?
Somehow you can do like this. On click, it can be a link or it can be a button also. Suppose I have a button here. Button. I have a button here. That is also possible. Let it be button, let it be paragraph, whatever it is. There is a paragraph. On click of this paragraph, just I have to change the URL. That's all, right? We can do it. So, do you understand how it works? Home, home. About us, about us. Carriers, carriers. Products, products.
Sir, how to link with IDs? Means, for example, I have one page. Inside that, I have multiple tabs. I need to go that particular ID tab inside that page.
What is your question?
How to link to IDs? Page ID.
Page ID we don't need whenever we use routing. I understand what you are trying to ask me.
Mhm.
There are 4 sections. If you click on, I understand what you are trying to say. We can do all those things in plain HTML. No need to do those things in routing. So if a page has a lot of things, if I click on home, it loads first section. If I click on about us, it will scroll and will show the second section.
Mhm.
If I click on third link, it will scroll and will show the third section. That is what you are asking.
Yes, we need to
Then
create
that is
subcomponent for each page.
that is not routing.
Okay.
Yeah. So is this clear?
Yes.
Can somebody share the screen and do it whatever I have done just now? Anyone would like to do it? It won't take more than 5-10 minutes. Yes.
ফেস মেনু থেকে অর্ডার করতে পারি আমরা, তাই?
Is my screen visible?
পাস্তা অর্ডার করলাম।
Hello?
Your screen is visible.
First we have to wrap index.js. I already installed React Autodom.
Maybe you can open that notes and explain that the first step is already done.
Yes, sir.
You can continue from step number 2.
Yes.
And please explain so that people will be engaged.
Okay. First step is React Autodom and we install React Autodom. We already do.
Type CMD first. Type CMD, so that it will open command prompt. Now you can run.
Like that. We have to install React Autodom library.
Yeah, it is installed.
After that, we have to wrap browser router or a hash router if I have all the browser required.
Yeah, we have to use either browser router or hash router, but we are going with browser router. And we are doing it in index.js. So point number 2 is done. What next?
We have to make components. Here I already read the about component mail and done document. First is about component. Second is main component. Third is navbar. About and mail. Sir, what's the next step, sir?
Routes. Import route and routes.
Point number 4. Point number 3 is done. Point number 4 we have to do.
Okay. In app.js, sir?
We can do it in app.js. We can do it in center.js. Anywhere we can do, but better do it in app.js.
Capital.
Here we have to give path and element. Path first.
Element will be in the curly braces.
Okay.
And the component which we want to render. Home.
Yes, home.
Home. After that, slash, backslash.
You don't have home component. You have main.
Main.
You can change it to main.
Greater than symbol. After that.
Here,
Route component routes. Why is it wrong?
Import a
Okay,
router.
it should be imported at the top.
Routes
When-
and router.
25 line number. Routes. That's it. And route should have a closing tag.
The route should be closed. Every route should be closed. Not there. Before that. Just add a slash before greater than symbol. Yeah, this is also fine. This is also fine. This is also fine. Both of them are same thing.
Navbar router name.
Now main and about you have configured. Now go to navbar.js. If two are working fine, you can add 100. They will work fine.
Okay.
Slash in the URL. This is main. Slash. About.
About. Now you have to add them in hyperlink navbar component. If two are working fine, like that, you can add 10, right? Now you go to navbar component. No, open navbar component. In navbar component, you have to add a link, right? Line number 15. Instead of A, change it to link. Link is a tag. LINK. Then 2.
Okay.
2 equal to 2 equal to in a string slash home. Like that, copy line number 16 and keep pasting. Home H small. Sorry, you don't have home, you have main. So follow accordingly. Is it clear to everybody else, those who are watching the screen?
So the text which we are writing for 2 should be equal to the one which we mentioned route.
Yes, that's true. The string that we are writing in 2 should match with our app.js route configuration.
But I don't think we gave slash main in app.js.
Slash is a different things, but main we give, right? You should check what is the route name you have given in your app.js. In your app.js, what is the route you have mentioned? If nothing is there, it should load main component. So I hope you have the document. Do you have, by any chance, do you have my document? See, you don't even have this document. You can refer line number 1669 to 1674. How about others? Anybody else who is able to configure route? You would have tried. It would have been done by now. Anyone tried? Anybody else tried to do it? No, it's okay. Let me continue. If you guys are thinking only watching the live session will be enough, no, it will not be enough. While I was configuring the routes, everybody, you must be thinking, right? This is the pretty simple. When you do it, you will find the difficulty. So do it. Next. Now there is a problem. The problem is whatever link I click, there is no highlight. Home is not highlighted. About us is not highlighted. Careers is not highlighted. So people will be confused which route is clicked. So when I select a route, if I want to apply some CSS, if I apply some background color, it will be better, right? So for that, what we can do, we can say in our navbar component.css, in our navbar component.css, go to navbar component. In navbar component.css, create a navbar component.css, or directly here also we can write CSS. We know that. Anyway, we can do it. Better create a CSS, navbar.css. In this CSS file, add this CSS. So add this CSS. What is that? Inside my navbar, if there is any active class, dot active, text decoration should be none, font weight should be bolder, background color should be something, and I'll import this CSS here. Import navbar.css. Now, what will happen at least when I click on a particular thing, the active class should be added. See, what is happening? Let's see. We are here. There are different links. When I click on a particular link, I'm here. When I click on careers, this is careers. See, nowhere active class is added. If you want, whatever link I click, active class should be loaded. If you want that, instead of link, use nav link. So wherever we have used a link, we will not use link, rather we will use nav link. Nav link. It is from React Router DOM. So change it to nav link. If you change it to nav link, it will help you to find out which link is clicked. So you don't have to do one by one. You can replace. Yeah. Now what will happen? Whatever link I click, see, I have clicked this home. For home, active class is added. When I click on about us, for about us, active class is added. So we can easily find out which link is clicked. Do you understand? For that, what did we do? We wrote some CSS. Then we added that CSS here. We changed the link to nav link. Okay, home, about us, careers, products. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So link versus nav link, which one is better? When we use link, there is not any active class on the selected element. With nav link, the selected element is highlighted because this element adds an active class. And add the below CSS. We have to anyway write the CSS. Adding the class will be done by React. Adding the CSS anyway we have to do. So with this much of change, we will be able to highlight which link is clicked, home or about us or careers or products. We can highlight which link is clicked. Is it clear? Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Next. Let's say we are in one route and we want to go to another route. That is also possible. Navigate from one route to another route. Suppose we are in About Us component. We are in About Us component. I'll close everything else. I'll go to About Us component. In About Us component, I have a button after this. Go to products. Suppose I have a anchor link. Go to products. In anchor link, what is the attribute we have? Do you know?
href.
H.
Href. Huh? So what if I add href attribute? Suppose I'll add, what is going on? Href equal to slash products. Isn't it enough? See, I am in which component now? About Us. Somehow we have to change the URL to products. When I click here, is it going to products?
No.
It's going to page not found.
Give me a
Product
second.
list. Product list.
A product list, right?
Yes.
It should be product list. Okay. About Us. Is it going to product list?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you think it is working or not working?
It's working.
Working.
No, it's not. Did you notice something or not?
It's reloading the page. Yeah.
Did you notice it is reloading the page?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It is going to that, but it is reloading. Then what is the point of using routing? We didn't get any benefit, right?
Mm.
Do you notice that?
Yes.
Yes. So we didn't get any benefit here. Though it is going to products component, this is not the best way to handle. Then what is the best way? You
Link.
create a button or you create a link or whatever it is. Huh? Then write link to. We have to write link to. So what we have to do? We have to use link. Link to. Link to. Do you understand? Now, see, this is reloading my
Entire application.
but when I click on this button, without reloading, it is going to another component. Do you see?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Mm.
Which one is better, the first one or the second one?
Second one.
Second one, right? Is it clear? What is the right way to go to the product stage? You can see the amount of time it takes also, right? Do you see? What is the amount of time it takes to go to that page, right? Is there any difference or not?
Yes, sir.
So when you try at your machine, you will better understand how it works. So is this the way we should go to another component? No. Right? Hope you got it, what I'm trying to say.
Mm.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next. So use this, don't use that. How to navigate programmatically? What do you mean by navigating programmatically? Navigating programmatically means, suppose navigating to another page is not that simple, not just a link. So here my requirement is click the link, go to products page. So I can write it in HTML. Suppose I have a requirement, there is a button, user will click the button. When user clicks the button, do this much, this much, this much. Once all those things are done, then go to second page. Then we cannot have a simple button, right? We cannot have a simple link to in HTML file. Can we do that?
Hmm.
So in that case, what we will do? We will have a button. And in this button, we will say do something, and go to products. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So on click of this button, I want to do something. I mean, I want to execute some logic. Once that logic is executed, go to some pages, right? We will implement that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Let me know if you are not able to understand. Now, how to do that? For that, what we have to do? There is a predefined function available called use navigate. There is a predefined function available called use navigate. We have to use navigate. We have to use this predefined function. When you call use navigate, it will return you something. Using that method, we can go to a route. So let's do one thing. What I will do in about us component, I will say const navigate is equal to use navigate. So when I call use navigate method, it will return me another method. Now on button click, on click, I will say go to products. Now I'll write go to products function here. Const go to products is equal to, this is a function. So here I'll do something, console.log, do something. And once this logic is done, it can be any logic, huh? You can execute any logic here. After this logic is done, then we will call navigate method. To this navigate method, you can see navigate method to which URL you want to go. I want to go to product list. I want to go to product list. Is it clear what I'm doing? So there are 3 links. When I click on the first link, it is anchor tag. Is it good way to go to another route?
No.
No. The second one is simple link to. Is it okay? When can we use this approach? If we have to do nothing and we have to just go to another route, right? If we have to execute some logic, after that we have to go to another route, then it will do something. After that, it will go to another route without reload. See, this is also without reload. Is it reloading? What all things did we do? We called use navigate method. Use navigate is a method. It returns again one method. So that method we will use here and we will say go to that route. Is it clear?
Yes.
Sometimes there will be a requirement. Do these all things. store the data in API. Once the API stores the data, go to another route. So in that case, the logic will go here. The logic can be 10 lines, 20 lines, 50 lines. After that, it will go to product list. What if you want to navigate to previous route or you want to navigate to next route? We can always have go next and go previous kind of thing we can have. So the same thing we will have buttons here. Go back, go next, -1, +1, -2, +2 we can say. Okay, suppose so we are in which route? We are in which route? Home route.
First one.
I go to about us. So who is my previous route?
Home.
Home. So if I click on go back, where it will go?
Home.
Is it going?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll go to products. Then about us. Who is my previous route?
Products.
Products. Can I click here in the browser? Right? If I click here, where it will go?
About us.
Right? So if I click here, where it will go?
Products.
Understood?
So these arrow marks are also working because of navigate.
Yes. So these arrow symbols are browser driven. Browser has written lot of logic. Browser knows from where you came, what was the last link that you visited, what is the current link. So all these things browser is able to remember. As soon as you go to products, it's so when we go back, see when we are in products, it shows two things, right? What is your previous route? What is your next route? So it remembers everything. If you want to do it programmatically, we can create buttons and we can write like this. Navigate -1 means previous route. 1 means next route. -2 means last two route. If I say go last two, what I'll write here? -2, right? Okay. Let me start with home. Now I am in home, about us, careers, products. Please remember, I go to about us. Who is my last route?
Products.
Product.
Who is my
Careers.
last two route?
Career.
Second,
Last two is career, sir.
careers. So when we say go to last two, it goes to careers.
Yes.
So all these things will work. Anyway, all these things are there in browser, but we can have extra functionalities on top of browser functionality.
Can you once repeat this navigate -2? It will take previous to previous one.
Yeah, previous to previous one.
Okay.
Suppose I'm in home, about us, careers, products, again going to about us. For about us, who is the last route?
Products.
Who is the last two product route, second last route? Careers, right?
Yeah.
So when I click this button, it will go to careers.
Okay.
All these things are possible. Yeah. So please practice this much. Tomorrow we are going to discuss what is route param, How can we pass? This is route. After route, we see 101, 102. How can we pass path param? How can we pass query param? How they are working? This is again important. We will understand tomorrow.
I actually have doubts. So can I?
Yeah.
I got error while creating that routing. I got Node.js. I got this kind of error.
What is the error? Cannot resolve React router DOM. Can you show me app.js?
Yeah.
Why /React router DOM? Don't write. Always use auto suggestion.
But auto suggestion is not working. That's the reason.
It should. Did you install React router DOM or not?
Yes, I was installed. Just I was installed. Yeah.
Remove /. Now it should work. Try. // means current folder. You don't have React router DOM in your current folder, right? You have it in node modules folder. And accessing the things from node modules folder, we don't need anything.
Yeah, it's working now. And I have previous route. I have just yesterday I couldn't able to connect. I want to show me that one also. Just 1 minute. Which component I put? Just as was. Just as.
Yeah, please practice this. We'll see tomorrow, huh?
Sir, please push the code. No?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it now only. Give me a second. I'll do it.
Sir, navigate to these all things are, I mean, good features, but do we use in real time? I mean, is there any advantage like back-to-back routing?
Yes.
Required, right?
Sometimes we use, not heavily, huh?
But very good features from you.
But I need to delete from routing in index.js also. Just 1 minute. I'll keep it like this only.
I think you can follow that document. Follow the document. If anything is not clear.
Error from here. I got error from last class. Actually, I got it error while open that Internet Explorer is working. While open Chrome, it's not working. Some browser error I got it.
It's not browser error. The array is not there. It is saying map method is not working. Can you show me what is there in that data?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Show me which component.
Yeah.
Recording stopped.